Welcome back to Two Bears Trekking. Today I am going to be talking about another campground in Florida.
Yes,
This one is in the Southwest Water Management District.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and since I wasn't with you, I'm going to ask some questions. What is the place and where is it in the Southwest Water District?
It is Cypress Creek Preserve. It is in Land O'Lakes, Florida. So it's just a few miles from sort of the main strip there. Where there are lots of conveniences. I will also say I did bike one day over to the post office. It was a few miles. So you can actually do that because it's in neighborhoods. It's sort of tucked up back near a school. Just about a mile in to the campgrounds. They split off.
Okay.
Going sort of straight ahead is the equestrian campground. And that's really where you're going to stay with your big rigs and your medium-sized rigs. They have in recent years, in that primitive one that you see goes off to the right, and that's another exit road. If you can't drive it, but you could bike it if you wanted. It ends up in a neighborhood. It's a smaller area, some low-lying trees. So if you have a smaller rig, or if you're a vanner, but it's really meant for tent folks. And I have stayed there actually in a tent a couple of years earlier.
So, going from the worst location and best locations, the two videos we did, how would you place this?
So this is my favorite in the Southwest Water Management District by a hair, and I'll tell you why in a few moments. And so it puts it as my second favorite overall.
Okay, cool. Now, what was your general, where did you stay in the location?
Right. So I was in the equestrian campground with the RV. And I found, I had a couple of different spots over my stays. The first, it's sort of hidden. Like you can see the little path going back there, but you really can't see the rig once it's parked back there.
That's a little bit more secluded.
It is. I think it's the most secluded spot. And then you go all the way over to the other side, and this is not a big area. But they don't, unlike Hampton Track, they don't overbook it. So there are certain days, very limited days where it looks full, but lots of days, there were days where I was the only person, and this is in the middle of the winter season, the peak camping season.
There you go.
So that other one is tucked in the back. You have to be a little bit smaller to get in there. And sometimes if people don't think, which is
it
a
happens,
lot of times,
yes.
They might park and block you in, like you can't get out, and you're going to have to ask them to move. But I was able to squeeze by, and he kind of just watched me as I'm like hitting branches on the way out. I'm just like, hey.
Dude, you could help here. Yeah.
So anyway.
Were there restrooms?
So it's a porta potty.
Okay.
Which I actually, and there's one at the primitive and there's one here, the equestrian. I actually prefer the porta potty because they get serviced weekly. And so there's always paper and they're clean and fresh. I prefer it to these vault toilets that are maintained by the rangers whenever.
Yeah, if they're maintained by the Rangers, yeah. So, okay. So you said this was by hair your favorite place
in the district.
In the district.
Yes.
Okay. What would you suggest to people with regards to staying here?
Yeah.
Is there a specific time? Is there a specific location?
So if you have a big rig, your options are going to be limited. They're going to be more limited to the very open area. And we're going to put the walkarounds I did back here. And that won't get you pinned in, right? If you have smaller rigs, 30 feet, you'll be in the more treed area. Get a little bit more shade, get a little bit more privacy. As far as staying in the primitive campground, it is wide open and you tend to get locals in and out of there. I will tell you, not quite like Hampton Track, but you do get locals trying to kind of sneak in. And this particular district and this area, the ranger comes through nearly daily.
Well, and that's a good thing then, because you don't have the, locals hiding out partying.
Yes. Yeah. So don't try and overstay your welcome. make sure you have a reservation here. This district, a little bit more constricted, 7 consecutive days, but you can only have 2 active reservations, which made it a little bit challenging. I wasn't necessarily able to get longer stays and at the last minute, which is why I had to jump around to a few different places within that district.
Is there anything else that you think people should know with regards to this location?
So I really like this location, not only because it gives a little bit more privacy and it feels, sometimes you might have it all to yourself, but it's a great spot for walking and biking. You know, the trail in, the trail out, the side trail, and even the local roads, because it's more in a neighborhood. It's not completely rural. And I think it just provides a nice overall sort of happy medium, as it were.
So you could bike to, like, if you wanted a restaurant or something? Is that
sure? In theory, you could, to the convenience store, to the post office. Like I said, it was a few miles, and if you take like sort of the cutover road, it's not the way GPS is going to send you. It's actually quicker, and it just goes through.
But if you have an electric bike, that's really not an issue.
No, really simple, really simple.
Cool.
So, so I highly recommend it. It's a place that we will probably go next winter when we're down there.
I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like a nice place.
Yeah. So if you've stayed there, let me know your thoughts. Or go ahead and check it out, and maybe we'll see you there.
Absolutely.
And as always,
keep on trekking.